So we have Nelson, Winters, Brunig, Norback, Phillips, McCombs, and it looks like Olson is joining. Hi, Jolene.
Hi, can you hear me? Oh yeah. Oh.
Yes,
Do you need me on camera for quorum?
we have we have 7 members. Let's see, no, we have 6 members without you, so we do have a quorum.
Okay. I forgot about the meeting. Sorry, I'm at the mall with the kids. So, all right, I'm here.
Okay, shall we get started?
Sure.
So, as Julia just put X's in rather than using the numbering system for the matrix. And Meg and I are a little bit concerned because it's kind of close that it could influence the outcome of the top artist. And so we are wondering what you would think about discussing the top artists we have tonight, and then, or at least some of the other criteria, and then asking Julia to fill out the number, fill it out with the numbered system. So Meg and I would like to know what you all think about that.
Well, how soon do we need a decision? Do we have time?
Well, if we went that route, we would need to schedule another meeting to actually take a vote on it.
Well, I guess if we were to do that, then we wouldn't necessarily have to continue with this meeting tonight. We wouldn't have to make a decision or discuss tonight. Um, so what do you all think?
We can reschedule. I'm fine with that.
I thought we were kind of in a rush.
Meg, are we in a rush? Meg,
The RFQ said that we would select an artist on August 15th, but it did say it was a tentative schedule. So I think there's like a little bit of wiggle room in there if we want to try and push until next Thursday, maybe. I don't know what Abby's schedule looks like, but
Next Thursday is back to school night, so I wouldn't be able to do it next Thursday.
Yeah, we have a full schedule too.
could we do it another night that week? Monday night, maybe?
Let me look here.
I'm looking at the calendar. That would be the 26th.
Um, that would probably work. Do you want me to provide an update while you all think about that? I provide an update on the feedback from the city council.
Yes.
Yes.
I had this on the agenda for 2 meetings ago, but that meeting got canceled. So I took it to the meeting on Tuesday night, and Katie can weigh in as well. But I I just was essentially saying I wanted to make sure that the council was endorsing this project because I had heard concerns from one alderperson. And then I also asked for feedback that I thought we could pass along to the 2 finalist artists, and I let them know that you all were meeting tonight to review them. And I would say that the feedback was very positive. There were a few different members of the council who spoke up to say that they're really excited about the location selection and that they are really excited to see more things happening with public art. They were very complimentary of the bus shelter project. Um, as far as feedback goes that we might want to pass along to the artists, there were kind of two things that at least one member said, and there wasn't any like formal action, so I don't know if all of the council members felt this way, but the feedback that I heard was they would love the idea of something that would be more vertical that could be seen from the lakeside as well, if it were able to be tall enough. And then the second thing was to try to minimize the footing at the base, so that we wouldn't tie up all of the green space that's in that circle area, because it's a really small site and they just didn't want like some large concrete pad add up all of that green space area.
So as in looking at the plans, I noticed, I was saying to Meg, I noticed that they're also planning on planting a tree pretty close to where this sculpture would be. So we need to take into account its width and its height anyway, because as the tree grows, we don't want them conflicting with one another.
Yes, that
And I
is,
think that the specs are pretty small anyway. The specs we put on the RFQ, I thought were not that big.
yeah, we kind of just like drew in like an orb shaped thing, but we were like, we didn't know if it was going to be tall and narrow or if it was going to be like wide, and you know, it was just sort of more of a placeholder.
Well, I think we can work with those recommendations. I mean, I think we're all kind of thinking the same thing for that space because it is kind of a small spot to begin with. And we don't want it overwhelming the space either.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So then will you contact Julia and ask her about fixing the matrix?
Sure.
Can everyone get together quickly on Monday night?
I won't be able to, but I also did not fill out the matrix because I don't. This is the first artist call that I've participated in, so I was hoping to just kind of watch the process this time. Because I'm not entirely sure how to give good numbers, and I don't want to skew it in any direction accidentally, if that makes sense. So, since I can't make it to the meeting anyway, and I'm not really going to be adding a ton anyway, I'm fine if you guys just want to let me know what you guys decide on Monday.
That's what I would recommend, is because I don't know what I was doing either.
Okay.
I just know what I like, right? And
Okay.
I read the letters, and
Yeah.
it's I would say fill out the matrix even if you're not going to do the meeting, because
Okay.
then you can say, like, how did I do? Everybody else decided this way. Did I decide the same
Okay.
way? And then you
Okay.
might decide, hey, I am actually not off. I really do kind of
Okay.
know what I'm thinking.
Okay. That's a
Yeah.
really great idea. I can definitely do that.
I think it's important to remember too that we have other factors to consider once we narrow down from the matrix. And so we can talk about all those things on Monday when we have Julia's stuff back. I
On
think
the
that
Monday thing, I was just thinking, Michelle, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I wouldn't be able to schedule a Monday meeting unless Julia got it to me by like 4 p.m. tomorrow, because I need to meet the public notice requirements.
okay.
I also can't do Monday. Sorry. I have soccer starting.
Okay, well, Abby can't do Tuesday.
Okay, should we just discuss the artists that we have now and then kind of see where we're at 6 o'clock?
Abby, can you email Julia right now and tell her what's going on?
Yes.
And see if we can get a response from her as to whether she would be able to get that back to you, but before 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes, I'll send her an email right now.
Okay. And then, yes, we can proceed on with discussing what we've got. So who would like to, when Abby's done, let's have her kind of go over the results.
Sebastian, you know more about this than a lot of us. Do you want to
Um,
talk about it?
it is a situation where you have to go from you never feel like there's a right answer, or like you never feel like there's like a real perfect cookie cutter solution, because we got a lot of good applicants. I don't think anyone who applied was like a bad fit or like would even like do a bad job, really. Like I mean, I have like my kind of like personal aesthetic feel is the only one I thought wouldn't be great was the Krivenek and Bro. I'm just not I just don't like kind of the text focused artwork for that spot. But I honestly everyone else was pretty solid, and I had a really tough time like uh going through and judging. One thing like I know from like working on public art projects and dealing with some of these artists is that John Aducci is, and this isn't like this could still be fine for if we decide to work with him. He's a lot older, and I think his daughter is the person who does most of the kind of admin work and selling of his work. So I doubt he would make something new for us, but he has like a family. His like family is continuing to sell his collection and get his art in public places. So that's just something to like maybe ask follow up on if we want to go with them. Um, other than that, I really I would love to open it up more. It's very tough. There's no like very cookie cutter right answer to this process, but I think it's fair to go off of if the numbers we had right now were 100% complete, I would say we totally fine offering the Milligan Studio the first kind of the right to refuse first, or like ability to say like you scored the highest. Would you like if you want this project, or would you like to propose for this project? Do you remember, Meg, if we asked for like finalist proposals or like stipends for more than one applicant in the
We asked for two finalists.
okay.
So we'll bring two in and then so we'll have to review them again. The
Well,
final.
Can I make a comment here since you brought up John Aducci?
yeah,
I just don't feel like I know that he scored in second, but I just don't feel like his artwork fits that space. I think it's a little bit too industrial. Like I would see that someplace like out by the airport or maybe out by Greenway Station, but I don't it just seems too industrial to me. I am also surprised that Mark Fisher did not score higher. Because I think that aesthetically his pieces really fit that space. And he's in third place.
sure.
Um,
Well, and the other thing to note is that there's a pretty good break between third and fourth, and Julia did select Mark Fisher as one of her top three, whereas the other two that she selected are a little bit further down. So maybe the decision is actually of these three, John Aducci, Mark Fisher, and the Milligan Studio, which two would you want to proceed with? So we could look at those and all three of those in more detail if you wanted.
I think that's a good idea, Abby.
Okay. Let me pull up John Aducci first.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my drink.
Okay. Okay, I guess we'll start with resume, and just kind of quickly look at that. We won't go over it in detail, but it looks like John Aducci lives in Chicago. Let's see here. He has over 40 years of experience, doing a lot of one-of-a-kind and site-specific work. He has numerous examples of projects that he's commissioned with budgets over $50,000. He's worked with cities, towns, municipalities, including the city of Chicago, city of Milwaukee. Some examples of his work. Okay. And then let me just share my screen so that you'll see the photos and I don't have to pull them up individually. So, okay. So this piece is called Connections. Oops. Sorry. This is Kicking Up My Wheels. This is Loop de Loop, which I'm guessing is in the Loop in Chicago. I have not seen that one.
Oh, that's why.
Have you seen that one, Katie?
I think I have.
This one looks familiar to me. Where's that one, Abby?
Power Up, I don't know. Let me just quick go back to his image list here. Power Up. Illinois Valley Community College in Oglesby, Illinois.
Nope.
And then Uptown Triangles is the last image that John Aducci submitted.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to
John
Mark.
is the second place person, correct?
Yes, I believe so. Let me just double check that. Yeah, first is Milligan Studio. John is second. Mark Fisher is third. So let's go to Milligan Studio next. Okay. Milligan Studio is a woman-owned public art collaborative in St. Paul, Minnesota. They've worked closely with a wide variety of communities in the US and other countries. Let's see here.
Ooh, they're always on time and on budget.
On time and on budget.
Like that.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
This was one of my favorites, actually, even though I didn't fill out the matrix, but
See, Beth, you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
okay.
Me
the
too.
deer.
Me too.
This was
the
my
deer one is
favorite
really
too.
cool.
Same.
And here's
Also one of my favorites.
images.
I love the mix of media right there.
That's really cool.
I love
Actually,
the
Abby, you were
flower.
talking about like a shade kind of thing, and I feel like that round one is kind of emulating like a shade piece. This is really cool too.
I like that deer a lot.
Love that deer.
Me too. I like how it blends into the environment too. It doesn't really like the pieces, they just look like they fit.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're pretty.
I like those too, and I think that it could be a fish too, since it's next to the lake. It could be glass and it has east sun coming over. It could, have light shining through it. I think there's lots of possibilities for that location.
Yeah, and it is more vertical, so it's a good example of what they can do with that.
I like this one too.
Love that.
All right, and
And
then
just one more thing too. I think it's got a good variety, of different options. It's like clearly they do a wide variety of commissions.
Yeah, as a collaborative, they must work in different media.
Mm-hmm.
So then let's see Mark Fisher. We reached out to Mark when this process began. mark as local and native. Is that true, Meg?
Oneida Nation of Green Bay tribal member.
Oh.
So I'm guessing he's in Green Bay, so definitely Wisconsin, which is good. Let's see here. So it looks like he's providing his professional skills and experiences, associations, solo and group exhibitions, gallery affiliations. And then he has done some permanent installations. Looks like this one was for Greater Green Bay Community Foundation, one in Portage, some private collections, one at the Oneida Nation Museum, Berlin Historical Society. So I'm guessing that these were commissioned by organizations. I don't know if if he's worked with cities, but he did work with the UW-Madison and the UW-La Crosse.
Thought
So
that I had seen somewhere that he had worked with some municipalities, but maybe not.
yeah, I wasn't sure I mean, some of these could have been commissioned by the community, but I
Mhm.
mean, he's worked with colleges, so I'm not really.
Well, maybe I was just thinking that because in one spot in his resume, he put that he had installations in different locations. Like one was at a college, so that would mean to me that he would be working with at least that community.
Yeah, and the other thing that was a little bit unique about his proposal is that he sort of gave his vision
Mm.
for the piece. He talked about how he would envision two women facing each other in a canoe, relaxing in the healing waters of Lake Mendota.
Did he do a drawing of that as well? Did he submit the drawing?
He sketched it.
That's what I thought.
Here we go. Here it is.
6 feet by 5 feet, which is our requirement, I think.
I like this a lot. I think it was neat that he included it and like was helpful to me in scoring, like in the scoring process to think about what he had in mind.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think like if this isn't exactly what the arts committee had in mind, there's still an opportunity to work with him on something else, but it was great that he gave his vision.
My question would be, would this be bronze? Would it be copper? What would the material be? And I actually like this a lot, and I think that that would fit in perfectly at that location.
I agree.
And especially because we were looking or hoping to find a native artist, and he is from Wisconsin. I think those are all things that we can, check off that were not necessarily represented in the matrix. And I like Milligan Studios also. Maybe I guess I don't, for me, they may see now this looks like something that would be perfect there as well to me. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I also think that he would do a great job and really hit what we want for the space.
This was my top vote because of the lake space. I thought it went really well with the canoe theme.
He was my top two.
I'll second that as well. I think that the top two that we have are, great candidates that, you know, have the potential to create something perfect for the spot. Like their style, I think less industrial, more organic shapes than some of the others. So
If we're all in agreement, then maybe knowing that Julia picked Mark Fisher as her top choice, then maybe we don't need to call another meeting. Maybe we can just make a decision.
I think so. I feel like we're all pretty confident with the two that we all seem to really like, I guess.
Yeah.
Sebastian, I'm looking at your face.
Oh, I just got a concerning text from someone. This is going good. Don't worry. This is
Oh,
good.
okay.
Okay.
So,
Well-
just to verify, we're talking about moving forward with Mark Fisher and the Mulligan Studio.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, who do we
I
want to
could make a
offer?
motion.
Do we
Oh,
need to
go ahead.
decide who we want to offer first right of refusal?
I think you have to, don't you? I'm
Do
not
we
sure
need to
that's-
include that then in the motion?
Oh, sorry, I'm unfamiliar with that. Someone else move.
I don't know that that needs to be in the motion.
Abby?
When you say first right of refusal, do you mean if one of these two decides they no longer want to be considered, then we would pick the third best option?
No, what I mean is offering it to one person and with the right to refuse it if they've changed their mind or can't do it. And then moving forward with the second person if that happens.
Oh, so not having two finalists at all, just having one?
Yeah,
What
I
are
thought we were supposed
doing
to
with
invite
that?
two of them.
Yeah, I like the idea of having two choice designs to choose from. And we're,
Yeah.
you know, we've told it like we provide a stipend for two people and for their proposal work and travel expenditures.
Why do we move forward with these two? And if one of them decides to decline, we can talk about that at that time.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
So
Jolene wants to make a motion.
sure, I move that we select Mark Fisher and the Milligan Studio as our two finalists to present proposals to us.
I second.
Second.
Or
All in favor?
Sebastian can.
Agree.
Aye.
I
Hi.
All right, so then what's the next step here?
So the next step would be, I will notify the two finalists and the 8 people who submitted but were not selected. And then I will try to find a date that works for the two finalists to come in person or remote for the project orientation.
Okay,
Cool.
Sounds good.
is that something we can include in our regular meeting?
You mean just have it on a third Thursday?
Can that just go on our regular agenda? Or do we need to do
Yes,
it sooner than
if
that?
they're both available on Thursday, September 19th, we could just put it on that meeting.
Or do we need to do it sooner than that?
I doubt we're gonna find a time that works for them sooner than that anyway.
Okay, so shall we just then add it to our agenda for September?
Yes, I will just make sure that that time and date works for the two finalists.
Okay. That is, I believe, our only order of business, correct?
That is it.
Did you need to say anything? Were you still planning to summarize and send out the council response?
I can, yes, or I'll just take it from the minutes, yeah.
Can I ask you, the person who was concerned about this, are they the alder in that district?
No,
no.
it was the District 6, well, actually, no, wait. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, no, it was District 6 alderperson, and she was mostly concerned because she wants to make sure that we're maximizing green space.
but
Okay.
I think she was heartened by the idea of going pretty vertical.
Yes, she did seem she seemed like she thought that that could resolve her concerns. So,
And
and she's also a big supporter of public art too.
I was just going to say the same. Yeah.
Well, and it is in the space requirements, and the footprint would be small if we, if we tell them that to keep the footprint small. I think either one of them could fit it into the space based on what we've seen. All right. So then, if there's nothing else, let's adjourn.
Okay.
Okay. See you all in September.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Great. Thank you.